What's up guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to be doing a tier list. It's first for this channel, first of many hopefully, but we're going to be doing a tier list ranking all 20 Premier League teams and how I think their season went. So as you can see on the screen here, we have the rankings going from S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, and at the bottom D tier. So let's get straight into it guys. So we're going to start off with as we got them on the bottom, it's easiest. So Arsenal came second, obviously. Didn't win any trophies. That's one thing I'm going to say. We're going to do trophies as well, not just in the Premier League. We're going to do seasons general. Quarterfinals of Champions League. But again, they probably hope to progress further as well as in other competitions and obviously win the Premier League, which they didn't. They had an unbelievable season really, but then it's the losses to your Villas, your West Hams. They lost that game to Newcastle, didn't they, with the controversy over the Newcastle goal. It's a difficult one really. They're not S tier because they didn't win anything for me. Now and for me it's between A and B because they really deserved an A, but they should have. There's games they lost where they should have won, which makes me want to put them in B, and they didn't win any trophies either, which I think is a big thing for like the top teams. You'll go and win trophies even when you have a bad year in the Prem, or if you have a good year in the Prem, you're still going to win a trophy, and so on. Let's look at Liverpool this year and other years. It's a tough one. I'm going to go A. I'm be lenient and go A, due to just due to the fact they pushed City to the final day, which is a great achievement. But they will be bottom of A. I may pre-order them at the end and they will be at the bottom of A. Yeah. Going on to Villa. Great season Villa have had, honestly. Was it semi-finals of the Conference League? Probably hoped to get to the final and win that, but unfortunately it didn't. But Champions League, that's quality. Ollie Watkins has been unbelievable. Unai Emery has done unbelievable things for them. They're just a solid team. Obviously Villa Park, they've got a strong fan base, a strong home ground to play at. But it's not a ground you really want to go play Villa when they're playing well at. And again, Ollie Watkins has been unbelievable. Just got other player, Diaby, Bailey, John McGinn's. I don't know if I say this, but he does look a good player nowadays. I thought he was always incredibly average, like a bottom half Premier League player, but he's taken a step up. Obviously Douglas Luiz in there as well. It's a quality team, man. It's pretty easy. Oh, I say that. Villa getting Champions League is at S. Do Villa getting Champions League S? I think so. I think to another team breaking that the traditional top six, I think they deserve. They had a quality season. Ollie Watkins is unbelievable and hopefully puts in those results for England at the Euros. Burnley. Relegation. I think they expected to do better than they did. I expected them to be the ones challenging for staying up rather than Luton, so I think it's fairly easy. It's a D. Disappointing season. Obviously Vincent Kompany's just managed to get the Bayern job. They tried to play good football, a young squad, but yeah, it just didn't happen for them this season, sadly. Bournemouth. I think Bournemouth have been incredibly underrated this year. I thought there was a stat that if the games happened from after the first 10 games, if you remember they didn't win any in the first 10 games. They were talking about sacking Arola. Yeah, and then he just turned it around. The ball stuck with him, and it was like starting the last 35 games or so, they would have been in 5th, 6th or something like that. Unbelievable achievement. I think Bournemouth play good football. Solanke, where did they go? It's B or A. That poor start to the season. I think because of that we're going B. I'd say the top of B, but that poor start really let them down. I think they could have done extremely well, and I think they'll go on to do extremely well next year. Brentford. They were just a bit average. No, Tony obviously hindered them, and Wemo injury for a majority of the season as well. They didn't perform up to levels they normally have done in previous seasons, so I'm going to go C. They were like low, bottom half of the table, a couple of places above the relegation zone. So C for Brentford. Brighton. started off well again. Obviously had the Europa League from the performances last year. But again, the drop off was, didn't win very many games at the end of the season under De Zerbi. And so it's between B and C. However, I think the levels they should have been at, and they weren't at those levels consistently. So I think C or B. What do we go for? I'm doing this on the fly here, guys, if you can tell. I think they had a better season than Brentford, but they didn't do as well as Bournemouth. I think we'll go top of C, and I'm going to do that because they didn't progress out of their Europa League group, which I think they could have done and should have done, given in the run-in from the end of last season into this season, where they were on top form. So Brighton, top of C, that's just. Now Chelsea. Chelsea, interesting because they were obscurity for the whole season and then pushing in for the top 6 the end of the year. They finished 6th. However, the Man United winning the FA Cup pushed them into the Conference League. They did get Europe, not the Europe they wanted. Again, am I going to bias and put them into C due to the form at the end of the year, or I have to take into consideration the form at the start of the year also? I think I'll give Poch, well, it was Poch the manager, now it's not, the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to go low B. That's because I think all the players, the millions of players they buy, I think it's very hard. I don't think he's done a lot. Maybe I'm rating it on the manager rather than the team's performance, but I think we'll go with B there. Next up, Man City. Only won one trophy, which is bad for them, let's say. However, I've just got to go winning the Premier League. It's S. There's not more. They'll go top. They won. Let's be honest. It's the top of S. They won a 4th in a row. 115 charges on them. Yeah, they probably should have. They should have won the FA Cup final, and they should have done better in the Carabao Cup and Champions League as well. Obviously lost to Real Madrid on penalties. Unlucky for them. However, I think just for winning the title again, beating that Arsenal team, SS, they won the league, let's be honest. Everton, obviously they had the points deductions. However, I think Sean Dyche has done really well this year. Obviously all the problems off the pitch financially and the points deductions, and they thought there could have been more. They had points taken, like given back to them, sorry. I think Everton have done well-ish. B or C, where are we going? I think they have performed, but they had good defensively. They're not so good going forward. I'll go C, because I think they need to add goals really, and they did well to clear the relegation zone with the points added by quite a distance. They would have finished like top half of the bottom half of the table, if you get what I'm saying. But yeah, good strong defensively. It can be an issue next season if like Braithwaite goes, along with other players, and whatever the situation with the new owners, if they get them, if they don't. Obviously they've got the new ground coming, so they've done well. I think Dyche has done really well. However, overall, I think it's issues off the pitch that has made this rating. Everton should be progressing higher up the league as the size of the club they are. But yeah, Forest. This is a difficult one. Finished just above the relegation zone. Obviously had the points deductions. This is going to be difficult. I know they didn't get relegated, but I've got to give them a D. I give them top of D because they didn't get relegated, but I've got to give them a top of D. And that's only because I think they should be finishing mid-table or higher with the players they've got. Morgan Gibbs-White is quality. Awoniyi, quality. Having Chris Wood as your backup striker who bags Premier League goals, he'll get a decent hand for you in a year. Callum Hudson-Odoi, like, one of the centre backs are good. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. They just have a good squad, and they started They got rid of Steve Cooper, Nuno came in. I just think that squad should be doing better, and Forest have the funds to do it, which obviously they have the funds because they got the points deduction for using too much of them unwisely, but I think they should be doing better, realistically. Next, Fulham. Weird season, they just go under the radar. They may have been losing Mitrovic. I think I had them going down at the start of the year, personally. But then they just go along, win a few games here and there, lose a few games here and there. You don't really hear about them the whole year, but Marco Silva's done a good job losing your top scorer as well. I think he's done a decent enough job. They just fly under the radar, really. So I think they've done well. We'll go C. Ooh, if I can put them in that. We'll go, I think, top of C. They've gone under the radar, done their thing. They stayed up, which losing your top scorer is good for Fulham, I think. Another year in the Premier League, and yeah. Liverpool. So, Liverpool. They won the Carabao Cup and came third. Klopp's last year. However, I think they've really underperformed. Defensively, they've been a mess this year. Obviously, they brought in the new midfielders, which they needed a midfield revamp. Brought McAllister, Endo, Szoboszlai. It was good for a season to have a brand new midfield. But then the hit and miss of Darwin, Salah not being fit or at AFCON or not performing. Same Jota injuries and other players not performing. And I think defensively there are issues between the centre-backs and Alisson himself. Obviously he was out injured. They just conceded too many goals. They did get a Carabao Cup win over Chelsea, it was. However, it was a three-way title race, and then Liverpool dropped off massively. And you have to say, if it wasn't Klopp's last season and farewell, they could have dropped off even more, maybe. And I think it was just a push the last few games to play for Klopp that maintained some kind of form at the end. But for me, they'll go top of B or A. They will go. No, we'll go bottom of A. They did win something. They'll go bottom of A for now. So next, Luton. Luton, obviously, newly promoted sides. I think everyone expected them to come last, with lots of people saying they'll be the lowest points tally Prem's ever seen. Their strategy of their recruitment strategy was obviously to buy players who were going to do well in the Championship the year after. They were good Championship players rather than Premier League players. However, managed to snag Ross Barkley, who was unbelievable for them. Quality player. Alfie Doherty, come out of nowhere really. Quality left back. Obviously going to get signed by another Premier League team. I think the same for Elijah Adebayo. Looks a quality Prem striker for around 10 goals a year if someone else comes in for him now. But they punched well above their weight. They got relegated sadly, but I think, yeah, they punched well above their weight. Rob Edwards done magic there. They're going to C. Where are we going to put them in C? They did go down though. I think we'll go. They went down. We'll go bottom of C. Now on to Newcastle. Champions League this year. However, couldn't get out of groups. Lots of injuries. Tonali getting his betting suspension. Talks halfway through the year of Eddie Howe getting sacked. Yeah, it's an interesting one. They obviously wanted to perform, either get top 4 again really, or even Europe, and they've got no Europe anymore due to Man United winning the FA Cup. So it's going to be a interesting one for them. Obviously they need to not get as many injuries next year, recruit some more players, and there's no Europe though. That's the issue. Maybe that'll be good for them this year, maybe that'll hinder them this year, but you have to take that into consideration. So for me, Newcastle, I think the drop off from last season and no Europe. Do we go bottom? We'll go bottom of B. We're even out of it. We'll go bottom of B. Next, Crystal Palace. Obviously, Roy Hodgson started the year, didn't go so well, got sacked, and then just under the second half of the season, Ollie Glasner come in. What an appointment that has been. Palace look unbelievable since he's come in. Mateta's on fire. Elise and Eze, keeping them fit is huge. Adam Wharton signing from Blackburn in midfield, quality player. Got Gahey, Anderson, Mitchell in defence. 2 solid keepers in Johnston and Henderson. If you take second half of the season, they'll be a lot higher than I'm going to end up putting them, because I have to take into consideration the first half, even though maybe that was due to the manager and the players they had available at the time. I will go. We'll go C. We'll go B due to the second half of the season. Put them up. I think we'll put them above Newcastle. Yeah, in B, just behind Chelsea, and there. That's only below Chelsea due to the first half of the season, and same with Bournemouth. Next, we will go Sheffield United. That's an easy one for me. Bottom of the league. What was it? Conceded 100 goals in the Premier League season. It's ridiculous. They were awful. Bottom of the list, bottom of D, bottom of the league. There you go. Spurs, if you can see this one. There, it's easy on there. We got Spurs next. Finished 5th, got Europa League. No trophies. Weird season. Should have on paper have beaten Villa to top 4 realistically. So that obviously drops them down, but Villa were quality. Didn't even progress in any of the competitions they were in. However, have got Europe this year, but it's Europa League. Maybe a good thing, not Champions League for them for another year. Need some squad reinforcements in that team really. Andrew's first year. We're going B. Where in B? Above Newcastle. I think they got Europa League, which is an improvement from last year. We'll go top of B. Yeah, top of B, but I will give the caveat they should have gotten top 4. Man United now, recent FA Cup winners. They finished 8th. However, the FA Cup, Ten Hag, is he going to stay? Is he not? It has been a poor season for Man United. I think that FA Cup has saved them, really. It's poor in all competitions this year. Europa League they're in? I think it was. It's been so long ago. But yeah, the FA Cup really saved them, but they've been so poor in the league. Just the results are all over the place. Perform one week and don't on the other. Catch a team on the counter attack and win one week while playing bad. That FA Cup win has not put them in A. It has put them in B. Is it recency bias to put them there due to that FA Cup? It is a trophy. It's a trophy. It's the FA Cup is a big one. I have to go B. It's a bad year, but that saved them. If they didn't win the FA Cup, they'd be in C. But it's a trophy. It's a big one. And they beat Man City, who are in S, so it means something. West Ham next. West Ham. Again, Conference League winners last year. It's at Europa League this year. Progressed kind of far. Not maybe they wanted to perform more, but again, it was a step up. Poor league performances. David Moyes is now leaving, and I think they're just ready for a rebuild. Really, I think. Who knows what can happen with Paquetá? If he's going to get banned, if he's going to leave, if he's not banned. Got to try and keep Jarrett Bowen now. I think he just needs reinforcements. I think it's been an average season for West Ham. I think we will go top of C. I want them above Fulham. We could do that there. Top of C, low B, top of C. And finally, the last team, we have Wolves. Gary O'Neill, come in, first year, inherited a mess after the manager, Lopetegui, had just left Wolves after literally a couple of weeks before the season. Didn't have much to come up with. Not the best squad in the world. However, I think he's done a brilliant job. Probably should have got further, shouldn't have lost Coventry in the FA Cup, should have progressed further. However, I think with what he came into, we are going to go with, tough now, Wolves. Am I going to give it, I think top of C. And yep, I think that looks good. That is the final team in the tier list for the Premier League 2024 season. And yeah, I think that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully I'll see you more soon for more tier lists and other stuff, and yeah, see you guys next time. Enjoy.